And the Super Bowl came and went. It was last weekend. I'm a little late on the reactions. Everyone has already got theirs online, but I'll make mine kind of quick here because that's pretty much what it was. It was mid, bro. It was mid. The Super Bowl this year was mid. Everyone had a job and everyone almost did it, okay? Let's start with the game because that's the most mid part about it. Yes, Philly, Eagles, you did it. Congratulations. I'm excited. Home state, hometown. I got so many people who are pumped that the Phillies won the Super Bowl. Or not the Phillies, the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And so that was great. Awesome. That's probably, dare I say, the best part of the whole thing. And so with that, the rest of the game, it was blatantly obvious. On the Chiefs side, it was Mahomes passing it to Travis Kelce. And on the Eagles side, their only goal was to tackle the ever-living shit out of Patrick Mahomes. Because if Patrick Mahomes can't get the ball to who he needs to get the ball to, then the Chiefs lose the game. And that's exactly what happened. Every other play, Mahomes had pressure. Mahomes was getting sacked. Mahomes was tackled. Mahomes was throwing the ball out of bounds. Mahomes wasn't there. Mahomes didn't perform. And so when he did, because sometimes the Chiefs let it slip, and he was able to throw said ball to his teammates. And just about, I'm almost positive it might have been 100% of the time, when Mahomes threw that ball to his teammates, the Eagles intercepted it. And so up until the fourth quarter, I think maybe the end of the third quarter, it was 20-0. The Chiefs had nothing. And then in the last quarter, they got a few field goals. They got a touchdown out of pity. The Eagles dumped the Gatorade on their coach 3 minutes before the game was over. Unheard of.
What are we doing?
Because that's how much of a sweep it was. The game was over literally at halftime. A lot of people thought maybe the Chiefs will come back in the second half. The last time the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, they didn't score any points in the first half, and then they dominated. So everyone kind of thought that was going to happen here. Instead, we just got tears and pouty face from a Travis Kelce. And that was it. That was the game. It was the Philadelphia Eagles. The rookie did his job. The quarterback did his job. They scored the touchdowns. People who weren't supposed to score touchdowns celebrated. It was a game. It was a wholesome game. It wasn't a Super Bowl game, I don't think at all. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Carlos will let me know if my opinion's correct. The commercials, let's talk about the commercials because they were kind of mid too. There was a couple of noticeable ones, okay? But basically, every time I looked up at the TV, being on my phone, Twitter, watching the score, commercials, TV, doing whatever else that night, having the Super Bowl party as we do, every other commercial was Matthew McConaughey.
What are we doing?
Somehow, this year, Matthew McConaughey's agent just got him the deals of a lifetime. The deals that Matthew McConaughey has been waiting for arrived this year because that man was in 7, 8, 9 commercials. Every other commercial starred Matthew McConaughey. And hey, we love it. We love him. Good Matthew McConaughey. We love to see it. We love to see the Matthew McConaughey. We loved his tuna salad recipe last year. We like his work in movies past. We are fans of Mr. Matthew. And so that was pretty much the commercials. You know what I mean? Some fetch app promised one lucky winner $30,000. The app store crashed. The downloads crashed. You couldn't even log into the thing. And so it's become this big, just kind of corporate machine for the commercials every year. And it's like, hey, because of the internet and social media, we don't even get to wait for the Super Bowl for the commercials anymore.
What are we doing?
The commercials are just on. They're out. We saw the Shane Gillis, Post Malone, Bud Light commercial 3 weeks ago. So whenever it was on the Super Bowl, it was yeah, oh yeah, cool, there he is. There's Post Malone. Don't need to pay attention because I've already seen it. When we need to go back to the days that we stopped putting the commercials out before the Super Bowl. What made the Super Bowl great was not only the combination of the performance of the halftime show, which we didn't get this year, the game and the commercials, because we didn't know what was coming. We didn't know who was doing what. We didn't know what celebrities were going to be in the commercial. We don't know who, like, what the premises of the commercials was. And so now with this new remedy of like, we've got to upload it before the Super Bowl so we can get enough hype and awareness around our brand because the Super Bowl doesn't do a good enough job. We've got to release it 3 weeks prior. And then just what we see that day during the game is just a replaying of the same ad we've seen on TikTok 10 times already.
What are we doing?
And so the halftime show. Listen, the halftime show is supposed to be a performance. And now, did Kendrick perform? Yes. But what Kendrick did during this halftime show wasn't for the audience. It was not for the stadium. It was not for the Super Bowl. I believe what Kendrick did during his Super Bowl performance was for him and his never-ending obsession with Drake and the rap community. If you are diehard, deep within the rap, hip-hop, Atlanta, PG Lang record label, if you're in Kendrick Lamar's atmosphere and you're within his bubble and you understand it and you're for it and you live by it and you're a rap fan, hip hop, the whole 9 yards, the Super Bowl is for you.
What are we doing?
The Super Bowl performance by Kendrick Lamar during the halftime show was a 10 out of 10 for you. But for everybody else outside of that zeitgeist,
what are we doing?
Not good, babes. Okay, we've even got people like people like Joe Budden. We've got people like Joe Budden putting his foot in his mouth over the damn Kanye West halftime performance. We've got none other than rap hip hop aficionado Joe Budden crashing out over what he thinks was, before the Super Bowl, Kendrick Lamar's leaked set. Listen to this. This is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious because Joe Budden prides himself on being, the godfather of rap. He's there. He's got the news. He's got the industry insiders. He's been in the game. He's out of the game. He knows what's going on when it comes to the Drake beef and Kendrick Lamar situation. So when he says shit like this, it's actually kind of funny.
All of the people that believe that was Kendrick's Super Bowl lineup, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a copy of the what is the quote unquote leaked.
Read it so they can hear just how stupid they are.
Yeah, I was like, this makes no sense to me.
Actually, don't read it yet. Okay. Y'all are really stupid. Seriously.
He's talking to us. He's talking to us, people on Twitter, people on the internet, me, you, who presumably before the Super Bowl saw Kendrick's set list leak. Of course, it always does. You can't get a new iPhone in 2025 without a good fucking leak. You know what I mean? Let alone Google, let alone a Super Bowl set list. And so now Joe Budden, the man himself, is calling me an idiot because I believe, and which was presumably true, the set list for the Super Bowl.
I sat through all 12 minutes and 19 seconds of this. Some of y'all idiots out there are too damn devoted. Y'all really did it. Y'all really put like band breaks.
Yeah, the whole shit is in
They
it.
put fucking song segues. Mm-hmm. Let me tell whoever this cultureless kid is that put this together. This is the worst Super Bowl lineup I've ever heard.
And that's the point.
Yeah, somebody just trying to make Kendrick look stupid on Super Bowl weekend.
Yep.
No all right. Oh. No good kid, Mad City.
No.
Here, let
Just
me read
mad
it.
GNX
Let me read it.
record.
And I'll tell you exactly why it's Mad GNX Records, bro.
What are we doing?
Because Kendrick Lamar doesn't own Good Kid, Mad City. If Kendrick Lamar would have done any of the songs that we wanted him to do that weren't on GNX at the Super Bowl, he wouldn't have gotten paid for them when Spotify streams blew up the next day. All of the songs that Kendrick Lamar played at the Super Bowl, he owns. He has rights to. They're under his new label, PG Lang. And now all of his old stuff, Sit Down, Be Humble, Good Kid, Mad City, Swimming Pools, all of the hits we wanted to hear from Kendrick, someone else gets paid when those songs are streamed. So why on God's earth, on the biggest stage, would Kendrick Lamar promote them when he can stand to gain another 3 billion views by performing all, if not most, GNX tracks? You know what I mean, Joe? Joe Budden was wrong. And I'm pretty sure what's hilarious is after calling me and everyone else an idiot, and after seeing the actual halftime show, he realized he was wrong. And I'm going to assume is going to go back on his podcast and be like, yeah, it was a great set. It was a great show. He stomped on Drake's grave. He had the girl out there, crib walking, Drake's ex, Serena Williams. I mean, if this Super Bowl halftime show wasn't 100% for Kendrick Lamar to tell us how much he dislikes Drake as a person, well, then by God, you've mastered your goal.
What are we doing?
There's nothing else for you to accomplish because this was not a halftime show. You do not have the track list for the halftime show. You don't have the hits for the halftime show. Kendrick Lamar and Jay-Z perfectly executed their plan of attempting to have Kendrick Lamar Drake by playing Not Like Us at the halftime show. And it was, again, mid at best. I think here's the situation. A female needs to be at the halftime show. It needs to be a female artist with the hits. And if we don't have anyone other than Miley Cyrus next year, we're riding. Let's go. Super Bowl, Miley Cyrus. It's not Kendrick Lamar anymore. It's over. The beef is done. Guess what? Drake just dropped a new album. So as soon as we all get done listening to that this weekend, Kendrick's gone. Kendrick's not going to drop another album for 4 more years, and he's going to fade away into the zeitgeist. Do you remember hearing about Kendrick Lamar from 2020 to 2024? No, because he beefed with Drake, the largest and most influential rapper on the planet. It was a mid-Super Bowl. The halftime show was okay. Wow, he did not like us. Good for him. One song, Kendrick. You have, in my eyes, one song. I know no other song on GNX except for Squabble Up because they play it on the radio every 5 minutes.
What are we doing?
And that was the Super Bowl, bro. That was the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?